Hey, happy dirty, snurdy Thursday, everybody. Lake Cameron Ice Racers on the show today. Tyler Schow and Logan Bauer, along with our guest host today, Tim Kujawa, all in the studio. That's going to be an awesome show, which, by the way, is brought to you by Executive Properties. Are you still putting off that project around the house that's been bugging you forever? Do you think you can wait until spring and call a contractor and have the work done ASAP? Well, good luck with that. Executive Properties has openings right now to get that project done. In fact, you can check out their Google reviews. Aaron says Chris and his team did a spectacular job on the damage to my aunt's garage and siding. Kept us up to date on the progress, and the finished product was amazing. Thank you for your professionalism and hard work. Hey, get that project done sooner than later. Call Executive Properties, 701-330-1273. And make sure you call that number, too, if you want snow removal, if we ever get snow again. Okay, if you have any questions or comments before we get going here, our number is 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Hey, feel free to text or call, all right? And before we get into our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me, want to wish somebody a happy birthday. Nick Curtis, happy birthday, buddy. Also, I believe it's Kelsey Peterson's birthday today, and in fact, let's do this for both of them, okay? All right, happy birthday, you guys. All right, let's do it, our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. You know, arguing with a woman is kind of like reading the software license agreement. In the end, you just basically ignore everything and click, I agree. Dale, thumb up or thumb down? It's like a mediocre thumb. How many of you guys are married? All of you? Yep. Do you agree?
Yes.
Is your wife watching? Is that why you're not answering? No.
Probably.
I was telling Dale earlier, I said, wait till you get married. You'll see. Everything is, it's just programmed into you. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. John, you're snoring. Yes, dear. Okay. Anyway, from my left, we've got Tyler Schow, Logan Bauer here, Tim Kujawa, our guest host today. Chad he called me he texted me this morning. I think he's just lying. I think he's having another procedure, but he claimed he had no voice. Maybe that was from a recent procedure. I'm not sure, but we're going to start here on the left. First, Mr. Schow, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been ice racing probably since 2016. Both my brothers have raced. Mm-hmm. Matt, he started in 2002, I believe, and Ryan in 2012.
Okay. So. And married, kids, any of that fun stuff?
Yes. So I'm married to my beautiful wife, Amanda, and we got 3 kids.
3?
Yeah. And the oldest is a boy and 2 girls.
Okay, and I was looking at, I said this earlier too, it's like you guys are like Spicers or Webbers. How many Schows are there? I see, okay, we've got Tyler, Matt, Ryan, Liam. How many are there?
So, so there's us 3 boys in my family. And then Matt's got his 2 boys. It's Colton and Liam.
Okay.
And Liam's been ice racing now. Colton has started driving some B-Mod during the summer.
Okay.
At some testing tubes and trophy class out in Devil's Lake.
I saw him run out there, yeah.
Yep. And then I've got my son, Cannon, and then Ryan's got one boy, Wyatt.
Wow. That's like a ton of Scows.
Yes.
That's a lot. All right, I'm going to go across now, and here we go. Logan Bauer, how are you, man?
Not too bad.
Get that mic right up in front of your face.
Get closer. Yeah.
Yep. Bring and put it right up. There you go. Tell us about yourself. Married, kids?
Yeah, well, not really married, but...
Close enough?
Yep. I got 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Been ice racing since, I think, 05 or 06.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in there. I think this summer will be my 8th or 9th year on the dirt. So
Okay. And where do you live? What do you do?
I live in Erskine, Minnesota.
Okay.
I farm for a living.
Okay. Erskine's a nice place.
Yeah, it is.
I like that little town.
It's
yeah,
quiet.
It is.
I like it.
And what's the bar there again? The Deuce.
The Deuce.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I stopped in there more than once this last deer hunting season. That's all I'm going to say. And it's a great place. You can actually watch the ice racing from there if you get a good seat. And, of course, our guest host today, let's give him another round of applause, Mr. Tim Kujawa. How about that? I've said your name correctly like 5 times now.
That's pretty good.
But did you see how I spelled it? Quee. AVA with dots above the A and the A. So, Kujawa. There we go. Kujawa. There we go. Thanks for coming in, by the way. Short notice, too.
Oh, thanks for having me. I wasn't really doing much anyways.
Yeah.
I was going to come bug these guys no matter what.
Well, that's what you said. You know, I was going to go crash the party anyway. And I'm like, awesome. Now you can crash the party in front of a microphone. You are last year's rating champion at Lake Cameron Ice Racing.
Yeah.
That's better do that again.
I know we had a pretty good year last year. Didn't have too many breakdowns or anything to make a rough year for me.
I have kind of a personal question for you. Do you ever get pissed? Because I don't think I've ever not seen you with a smile. Have you guys ever seen him mad? Because it seems like he's always. Oh, you have.
Oh yeah.
Is he still smile when he's pissed?
I think so.
Okay. It's just kind of the way you were. It's in your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You you look like you're a big burly guy, but you look like you're a pretty friendly guy.
I don't get too mad too often, and I don't hold a grudge because all it does is piss you off for more days.
Well, that's true. Unlike some people I know in this room.
Yeah.
Flip you off again. Okay, next question is rating track champion. You guys actually kicked off the season last Saturday, Lake Cameron Ice Racing. Tied for 5th in points. What happened?
Yeah, just driver.
You guys are chuckling in here, so I'm just...
So, with all the racing we do, that track is not my style of track. Up on the wheel racing.
Okay.
I'm more of a
Finesse.
Sure. So, it's something I'm working on. And personally, I had a good weekend for it. Getting better, learning, trying to drive like these two yahoos.
Yeah.
They're nuts. But
Yeah. After week 1, in fact, Tyler Schow, first in points. How about that? Sam Rogers, second. Logan is third. And you are tied for 5th with, I believe, Liam Schow. Tied for 6th. Which one is Liam?
Liam's Matt's 11-year-old son.
Oh, I like how he makes that 11-year-old son.
Yeah.
The kid's a wheelman.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
He's a natural.
Will we see him? Will we see him on dirt ever? You think?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Matt's he's drove the B-mods too.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yep. That's one thing, and I'm going to give Devil's Lake all kinds of props on this. When I first went up there, I do a lot of announcing there. Not as much as I wish I could, but when they did the trophy class thing, and I'm thinking, it just doesn't make sense. There's a sprint car, and then there's a B-mod and a bomber. But when you're putting these kids behind the wheel of these cars and getting the seat time in, I'm all for it. I think it's a great deal. Getting back to you now. Now, you're one of those guys. This is how racers are kind of wired. You had a great year last year, champion, but not great enough. So it's like we were talking before we went on air. You don't fix it if it ain't broke, but race car drivers seem to do that. They seem to think, well, maybe I can get a little more out of it, but you're chasing, you're learning, and you made a bunch of changes.
We did make some changes, and I'm regretting it, but at the same point, if it helps me out in the long run,
right,
then it works.
Yeah. I mean, your whole season wasn't done last weekend.
No, absolutely not. You can't count one weekend for your whole racing.
And you know what? Tied for 6 isn't so bad.
No.
After one day.
There was a lot of cars, and it was a hammer-down track. And it was...
Now, did the season, did it start later this year than normal, or was it okay? Because, I mean, let's face it, unless you're an ice racer or a snowmobile racer or downhill skier, it's been a pretty good winter, but it got started later.
Yeah. So typically we try to like that 10th to 12th have a practice weekend and then start the weekend after that. So
all right, let's see here. Have any of you guys ever won a race without a front tire? Brandon O'May, have you ever won a race? Okay, there must be a story to that. Who's going to say that one?
So the story. So I don't know. Do you know Brandon at all?
A little bit, yeah.
So that's Matt's movable weight. We put him in the back seat and we'll slide him from side to side in the car.
Okay.
And Matt had a tire on his car that didn't get tightened, and halfway through the feature, the left front tire fell off the car.
Oh,
And
okay.
he was leading the race, and the car actually got better.
I was going to say, because I've only been there once, and it was last year, and the fast cars, their left front tire barely touches the ice anyway. We've seen a lot of B-mods do that too, but did he end up winning?
Yeah.
Wow. How cool is that? I'd be all over social media with that. I mean, are you kidding me? Not a trike, just a three-wheel car. Wow. What's up? Jeff Cornell's Chewy down in southern Minnesota. I see he's got the beers. Here you go, Chewy. This one's for you, buddy. Andy Lynn, good luck, boys. So wins it with 3 tires. Man, that is cool. Did you start ice racing? I know you used to run B-mods. Was that first, or was the ice racing first? And I just want to know how you guys got your start in racing on ice.
So my brother Matt, he had a car. He parked it in a shed for a few years when I was in high school.
Okay.
So then I pulled it out and got it put back together, and we kind of tag teamed it a little bit for a couple years. Then I went off to college, and then when I come back, I built the car and started racing my own car then in the winter of 16.
Okay. Is there a big rivalry between the Schow family when it comes to ice racing? You don't get in any fist fights over Christmas or anything like that, do you?
No, not in fights, but there's
a little fun jabbing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the most fun I had was racing with Matt. I don't remember what year that probably was in 17, and we run 12 lap features.
Okay.
And I led 11 laps, and Matt passed me on the last lap
to
win it. And coming back in, that's all he said. Well, couldn't let you have one. So,
yeah.
So we're very competitive to not let one
sure.
or the other win.
Are you the bigger of the brothers?
Yes. So
you're like quite a bit bigger, aren't you?
I'm inch taller than him. I'm 2 inches taller than Matt.
Okay. Who'd win in a fight? Let's get him going. I love doing that.
We won't go there.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. And how did you get your start racing on the ice?
Well, I've always loved racing since I was little, and to be honest with you, Ron Olofsson, I don't know if you know him, he kind of got me into ice racing.
Okay.
Well, and my whole family's actually loved racing. My cousin Jack Roker races a sprint car.
Oh, he's your cousin?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And it's me and him are the only ones that actually pursued it, but I would say I'd have to thank Ron Olofsson for getting me into it, and that's where I started.
Sure. Dirt before ice or ice before dirt?
Ice before dirt.
It was, huh?
Yep.
Now, did that, I mean, you said you've always been into racing and a huge fan. Did that increase you? Would you have gotten a dirt car, a mod, if you wouldn't have been ice racing, do you think?
No.
Okay.
No,
you just can't get enough, right?
No, it's last year I think I only put in 2 shows because farming got in the way, but that comes first anyway.
Sure.
But the year before that, I think I had 15, 20 shows. It's just I just race as much as I can, but farming comes first.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't know.
Is there a big difference? What is the differences between ice and dirt? I'm going to ask you both this.
I've never been good at explaining this, and there's some similarities, but yet they're totally different.
Okay. I know you don't have somebody riding in the back seat with a beer in their hand and a B-mod.
No, you don't. Then in ice race, you don't have your helmet on. You're not strapped in. You got your seatbelt on, but you're not strapped in as tight as we are in our dirt cars. But they're both. I tried quitting ice racing. Was it 2 years ago? I bought my ice castle.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that was just last year.
That's just
2 or 3 years.
That's just a pit stop shop for the racing.
It lasted 1 weekend.
Yeah.
I got the car out of the woods and we would race the rest of the year again. So then I ended up selling the ice castle. So. But no, it's.
I would have parked it right down in front of the Deuce.
Well, could have.
Yeah.
So all the family members wanted me to do it too. But
sure.
No.
Now, I mentioned, I want to ask you first, difference for you between dirt and ice.
So the best way that I could probably put it is been down to Glyndon's racetrack. That can get to be like an ice rink.
Okay, sure.
So I would say you can get on a dirt track that's real close to the ice. The difference is that you can build a studded tire. You don't have to worry about turning for the most part on ice.
Sure.
So you can just keep tightening a car up for the most part.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to worry about pushing coming in.
Right.
As long as you got a good tire up there.
I just saw you're not going to be racing this Saturday. It's just too warm. I'm imagining there's probably 6 inches of water on Lake Cameron right now, and that's probably the reason, because I'm guessing it's not from unsafe ice. I'm guessing it's probably just from all the water on the track. I mean, all you got to do is drive over any of the bridges in Grand Forks, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. There's still ice under there, but you got to find it underneath all the water. If you've never been to Lake Cameron ice racing, folks, I'm not kidding you, man. It is so fun. I've only been there once after getting bugged for how long to go. It never worked out, but we went last year, and it was actually we went to celebrate my birthday, I think. It's so fun. I mean, you sit in your car, you just pick a good spot. We picked a spot coming off of turn 4, which I thought was a pretty good spot. I had my cooler full of beer in there with me, and you listen, you tune in. I can't remember the frequency, but you tune in, and you've got your announcers there, and the announcers are a hoot. Is that Harold in the back seat again? Did you see what, maybe not like that, but this is really cool, and you guys don't even charge for people to get in, do you?
Nope.
Why?
We just want to give people something to do.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's. I think it is awesome. Now, cars, tires. I got to look at your car at the thing at Home of Economy, the Racer Showcase. It's really different. I mean, they look like an enduro car, kind of. But explain the difference between what your car on ice is and why you wouldn't do worth a shit if you were on dirt with that thing.
I guess the easy way to say it is it's just too tight. It's set up for too much of a dry slick track that it's not going to work on dirt.
Okay, and tires. Big difference in tires. What now? They're studded on the
fronts.
Okay, people were trying to argue with me and say they were studded on the back. That only makes sense. I go, no, that's not right. They're studded on the front. No, it's got to be back. Okay, so explain the tires.
Our front tires are studded, of course, and then the back tires we get from a place down in
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Okay,
and they almost look like a mud tire, some kind of mud tire. They're on a Hoosier casing.
Yep.
But they're real soft.
Okay.
You can push them with your fingers.
Yeah. A couple more texts. Heather at Devil's Lake, by the way, says we could have a test and tune today. I'm sure things are probably pretty dry over there. Kaylee Elizabeth, I rode in the front seat of Sam Chisholm's car one time. Found out pretty quickly how terrible of a decision that was. Never again. Okay, Austin, Chef, go around the table and ask everyone what their favorite memory of ice racing is so far. And I'm going to start with our co-host today, Tim.
Well, I would have to say probably the first time I got a third place. Because I've been running mid-pack, and that was 2019, I think. And I was new to racing, new to ice racing, driving. And yeah, my main guy, my Uncle Harv, he was gone. So my uncle filled in, and we went out there. We ended up getting a third, and I won't forget that day.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was
that
awesome.
was the next step.
Yep.
Okay, and how about you? Favorite memory of ice racing so far?
Timmy and I kind of have a nice friendly rivalry, so I think probably one of my favorite was last year. It was another track that a lot of traction, had to be up on the wheel and just giving her. And I spun out on the second lap. Well, in ice racing, they don't throw the yellow flag and line everybody.
Yep.
It's like enduro racing. You
Catch
get going.
back up. Yep.
So I took off and started running on the outside, and it was hooked up. So we were flying. And I actually beat Timmy for third place at the checkered flag at the end of that race. So just kind of some fun rivalry between us.
I mean, and again, he's over here smiling about it. What about you? Favorite memory?
I got plenty of them, but I do have to say one. This is probably I was driving that 2-door that me and Matt built, and we started in the back of a B main, and I railed the outside and ended up winning it. And that was probably the best one that I have.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, just chair guys out there. Anyway.
So that's probably the best one I got.
Now, Andy Lynn says there's always memories made in the bar afterwards. Is that what you do? Do you guys head over to the Deuce usually afterwards? Or, I mean, I would imagine weather is going to, have a lot to do with that. If it's 40 below zero, you're probably not going to sit around in the pits. But afterwards, I think, now, you mentioned there's no roll cages in these cars.
Nope.
Have you ever come close to rolling one?
I personally haven't.
We had one guy tip one on the side.
Okay.
And I was actually gone that weekend, so I didn't see it. But from what I've heard, it was driver error. It was not.
Sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a racing deal.
You know, I'm amazed when you said that the track changes that much. How it was racy, how it wasn't, and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't realize that. Is it because of the snow on it, or I suppose temperature, water, all of that stuff?
Everything
has an effect on it.
Yeah.
Wow, just like a dirt track, but not.
Well, I would say we've ranged out on that track from 35 miles an hour to 1 year the sheriff was down there and clocking us at 68 mile an hour on the ice.
That's moving, man. And what about motors? Are these things stock, or do you find a car like we used to do, building for an enduro car or an enduro race or a demo, and then you just strip it down and go, or is there a little motor work done? Is there something favorable people like?
So it's all over the board.
Yeah.
We've got couple guys that'll run 6 cylinders. One thing that's real popular right now is these fuel-injected LS motors.
Okay.
Out of these early Chevy vehicles.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So like I guess Timmy and Logan are both running fuel-injected 5.3s. I got a fuel-injected 6.0, but they're just a stock motor.
Yeah. And now these are motors you're pulling out of something else, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What's the preferred car then to drive, or chassis?
Caprice.
Yeah,
Anywhere
it
you go.
is, huh?
Yep.
Just a 4-door?
Yep. 4-door, 2-door. I've had so many cars, I don't even remember what they all are. But I got a 82 Caprice right now, 4-door. And Tyler's, I think, it's the same thing.
83, yep.
83.
Okay, and I'm guessing you probably don't blow motors up like they do on dirt track racing. Do they last a little longer or not?
Well, they can.
Depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you blown one up?
I have not.
No. How about you?
Yeah, I blew my 5.3 up last year.
How about you?
No.
No. Never blown one up.
Nope.
Wow. I tell you what, we've got to take a break here. I knew it was going to be a matter of time before we had to, but we got to do it. Tyler Schow, Logan Bauer, Tim Kujawa, all on the show today. We're talking Lake Cameron ice racing on a dirty, snurdy Thursday. You know, life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done yesterday. Everything's always in a hurry. Everybody's in a hurry. Oil changes, same thing. Tell you what, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You're usually in and out of there in about 15, 20 minutes. They can do transient coolant flushes, tire rotations, batteries. Now, when I roll in there, I'm usually in and out of there in about 20 minutes. Here's what they do. Not only do they change my oil, but they top off my fluids. They check my tires, my battery, my lights, my wipers, my cabin air filter. If you own a fleet or if you're in the military, you are going to get a discount. They can text and email invoices and coupons too. And if you mention Grand Forks Best Source, $10 right off the top off your oil change. That is a great deal. Open Monday through Saturday, no appointment needed. Pickup and delivery available in Grand Forks. Tell you what, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. For a complete oil change and more, check them out. They're at 3325 South Washington Street. Got to make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you, all right? Save that $10. Also, tell you what, if you're looking for a new career, maybe you're a little burned out with your current job, or have you been recently laid off? That's going around too. Check out the Cirrus Aircraft Job Fair at the Piggy in Thief River Falls. It's coming up this Monday. That's the 5th at 123 3rd Street. Kind of an informal event from 6 to 8 p.m., and you can talk to Cirrus representatives from Grand Forks and Duluth. Now, whether you're looking for an entry-level position, maybe engineering, IT, finance, accounting, and more, you're going to want to show up with resume in hand. Get started on your new career by going to the Cirrus Aircraft Job job fair Monday, February 5th from 6 to 8 at the Piggy. Again, kind of an informal event. You don't have to worry about dressing up or anything, all right? Just bring a resume. Over in Thief River Falls, you can find out more by going to SiriusAircraft.com/careers. Cirrus Aircraft got the big job fair in Thief River Falls. Lake Cameron Ice Racing, Tyler Schow, Logan Bauer, our guest host today, Tim Kujawa on the show. Now, we talked about passengers. I'm not quite sure how that works, but you talk about, I could see how it could be an advantage, especially on ice. It probably would be on dirt too, maybe. But how many people explain this whole, how you can have somebody ride with you?
So it's more personal preference. Like, we got guys who don't want people. So we had a car a few years ago that got in a wreck and some weight come through the back seat.
Oh boy.
Into the car.
Yeah.
So we got some guys that just said, no, nobody's riding in the back seat.
Yeah, don't want to put them in jeopardy. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
okay.
And since then, we've made a rule to put some type of 3/4-inch plywood or a 2x6 between your weight and make sure it's secure. Try getting safer on that because we don't want nobody getting hurt. I don't know. Typically, I guess I'm pretty much by myself. I'll let somebody jump in, but if they want. But otherwise, I think Timmy's got a couple people that's just who rides with them. And kind of everybody has their own way they go about it.
When you talk about weight, how much weight typically do you use? And you just slap it in the trunk, or you got to strap it down, I would imagine, or how does that work?
Yeah, we strap it down, and I'm not gonna say how much weight I have.
No, you don't have to.
but yeah, I just strap it down. Like Tyler says, a few riders here and there. Like last weekend, I didn't have enough weight, so I threw my nephew and some of his little chubby little buddies. I prefer racing myself because I'm so used to it. In the summertime, dirt car, I'm by myself.
Sure.
And then you got all them little clucking hens back there. You're talking while you're trying to race, and I don't like that. But
Is the Legend TR racing this year?
No, his son's driving his car.
Oh, okay.
His car's still out there. Yep.
Okay. Timmy Schwantz wants to know. Also, Nick Curtis. Tim, when can I hop in with you?
Come out anytime, man. I'll take you for some laps.
Now, I was wondering, I've had the opportunity to ride in that 2-seater sprint car with Dobmeyer, but I haven't. My doctor wouldn't let me the first couple of times. And to be honest with you, there's no way in hell I'm going to ride in the back seat of that thing. But I have been unfortunate enough to ride in the bus with Mark Dobmeyer riding it. And I was actually, I wasn't strapped in. They said, hey, would you just do a lap around with the bus? Because we first introduced bus racing to the Speedway. Just a guy will come and pick you up. Just hop in and talk a little bit about it. So I'm down waiting. Bus pulls up. I come walking out. Door opens up, and he says, get in, mother. You know what else? And it's Mark Dobmeyer. And I'm like, oh, my God, here we go. So I'm standing in the steps, and we're up high. I mean, we're up on the cush, and I'm just standing there. And I'm sure you couldn't hear anything but me screaming. I mean, I scream like a little girl. Does that happen if you get passengers in the back seat? Do you ever get anybody just screaming like, stop, like a bad fair ride?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Now, I would imagine kids probably are the quietest, or not?
Well, no. After race last week, I gave my daughter a ride. She's 8, and I told her I wasn't going to go fast. Well, I gave her hell, and she wasn't too impressed with her dad.
Yeah. Now, you could use that. You lip off again. You're going back in the back seat next Saturday.
Yeah.
Brandon says Tyler likes his movable weight as well, like his brother. Movable weight. I like that. That's a good one. I like the fact, again, how you could just park and watch these races. It's so cool. Does your announcer, is that a regular announcer? Is that their gig, or do you just whoever can do it and wants to, or?
I think it's whoever can do it.
We've had a few people, different people do it.
Okay, because I had been asked to.
Yeah,
and
you haven't showed up. So.
And, well, I when I did show up, I didn't tell anybody because I wanted to not, I wanted to see what it was like first because I got to admit, it's a lot different, than calling races on a dirt track. And I wanted to see what it was like. I didn't want to sound like I had no clue what I was talking about because I didn't. Were there a lot of guys missing the first week when it comes to dirt track racing? I know we don't always get a full crew because they're not always there, or ready, but was pretty much everybody there?
So the first weekend of our Erskine cars, I think there's probably 7 guys there.
Okay.
Last year we had 14, I believe. So a few of those guys claim they're not coming out this year. So I think we'll be at 10 to 12 cars most weekends.
Okay, now, I know everybody wants to get more numbers if they can. Is it hard because a few years back, when we had the big run on scrap metal, junkyards were getting cleaned out. I remember buying my first demo car, sitting in the Rusty Nail, for $22, and I drove it home from the bar. You can't. It's harder and harder to find these cars now. Is that make a difference? Would you think there'd be more people out there, or could they maybe get a hold of any of you guys and say, I know where you got to go look? Does that have a difference? You think if these cars were more readily available, do you think there'd be more guys racing?
I think that's a big problem of it. Most of these cars, you can't find them for under probably $700 anymore.
Right.
And then now it's starting to be in our local area. Guys have kind of picked the cars apart. So now it's traveling a few hours to go find them.
Wow. Before we get going any further, I do want to give kudos to our producer today, Dale. Handing out beers. That's pretty good. That's not in his job title, but and Paul, the producer, who was nice enough to go get more beers. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, there you go. What's the difference between, because there's a Baja class, is that right? Baja?
Yeah.
And I noticed because I was going to go do some Baja stuff last year, and something happened there where I couldn't go either, but I saw some of those names were here. What's the difference between your class and the Baja?
Well, they can stud all 4 tires if they'd like.
Oh.
I don't even know if they're.
Are they smaller motors? They front-wheel drive?
They're front-wheel drive cars,
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, their rules in their Baja class are anything under an 8-cylinder, so 4 6-cylinder car.
Okay.
4 studded tires, and it's basically after that, it's a run what you brung.
Wow. Are the times similar, lap times, or if you guys were to go out there with the Bajas, who's going to win?
Those Baja cars.
They would, huh?
Well, they're all studded up.
Oh, sure. I suppose that makes a difference. Wow, okay. Happy birthday, Nick. Okay. I get too old for snowmobile racing. Would love to try ice racing. Paul Bauer, who, by the way, will be our guest next Thursday. And this guy, when I get too old for snowmobile racing, I'd love to try ice racing. He didn't start racing snowmobiles. We'll find this out next week. But he's not one of those guys like the traditional start of racing where you start snowmobiles when you're a kid and then you retire when you get to be like our age, well, my age. He started a lot later, and he is having so much fun. I can't wait to get him in, and I'll probably be talking to him later on today. Well, conditions are, the forecast isn't looking that great right now. No. I know it's a scrap this weekend, but how much ice is there? We're not really worried about the ice deal right now, are we?
Well, right now there's 21, 22 inches of ice
out
there. But
so plenty of ice.
Plenty of ice. Is just that I was out there actually yesterday on my Ranger, and there's no water on the lake.
Oh.
But it's
that slushy.
You get that top 2 inches layer, that soft ice.
Yep.
And, we had talked, maybe we should race, and if we have to, build a new track because our studs will wreck the track.
Right.
But now we don't have enough snow to build a new track because we got to have
at
least 2 feet of banking.
Sure. And you don't want that slush for a banking because that's going to freeze and
turn into concrete.
And and tear the crap out of everything.
Yeah.
Is there a lot? Okay, I've been around the dirt track racing business for a long time. I know how meticulous guys are and how much work it is. People think, how hard is it? You show up at the track Friday night and you race. No. There's a lot more to it than that. In fact, go to a race shop and see what they do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. It's nonstop. But you first, is there a lot of things to do to your car between weeks? Maintenance, prep work, all that. How much time do you spend in the shop?
I would say if things are going good, you check some nuts and bolts, and you can get her done in a few hours a week. Otherwise, if you have something go wrong, like anything, you got
Yeah,
Same
then
as
you
any
never
other
know.
race car.
Yeah. How about oil changes, things like that?
Try to do it once a year, every 4 weekends or
Oh,
something.
okay. How about you? Same thing or
Yeah, I'm lucky enough in the summertime. If I'm spraying or doing farm work, my nephew and my son get my dirt car ready for me. All I gotta do is get to.
Oh,
track
so you
and-
got people that'll do okay.
Yeah, and my son and nephew. I think my son's 14 or 15. And then my nephew is going to be 16 here in February. But they've been with me doing it since, basically started. And they know what to do, serve,
Yep.
tires, getting everything ready, lubed up, check nuts and bolts. But like back to the ice racer, it's, like Tyler said, there's something wrong. He fixed it.
Yep,
And
yep.
Some weeks are longer and some weeks are shorter.
What day is your nephew's birthday? I shouldn't have put you on the spot. You just said it's this month.
It's February something.
Okay, I just wondered. My birthday's this month, so I thought maybe we could go party together, but no, probably not. He's not old enough.
No. He wishes he was.
You stay away from that bad influence.
Yeah.
Okay, sponsors. Name some of your sponsors.
I don't have any sponsors.
Are you one of those guys? And that's not, a lot of people are like that. Sponsorship means you have to be accountable. Maybe you want to take a weekend off. Maybe you've got to do something. Maybe you want to go on a vacation for once. I get that. And how about you? Do you have any sponsors? He's pulling out the cheat notes, so he must.
Well, I don't. I got some stickers on my car. I got MDS Services. That's my brother Matt.
Okay. Yep.
So we work back and forth together. Luckin Motorsports, Lynn Luckin.
Sure.
He was helping us out there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pull the sticker off, but just
Right.
leave it on there.
The late Lynn. Yeah.
Yep.
Great guy.
Yes, very much so. My business is Schow Egg Service. I'm a channel dealership for corn and beans. So that, and then I got a body shop out of Stephen Argyle.
Oh, okay. Well, you're
skipping
up out
on
of
the
your
name
realm
right
up-
now.
Oh, it's probably 42 letters long. That's why if it's Stephen Argyle.
That's what I was trying to look. I couldn't remember what the name of the body shop is. So
It's on that picture.
Oh yeah. Can we whip
Right.
up some of these pictures? Let's take a look at some of these pics. I forgot all about that. I got it circled pics.
All right, one sec.
Let's see what we got here. And if we can hold them on, you guys can explain who, what, where, what's going on here.
So that's my car.
That's yours. Yep.
Yep. So I after the heat race, I was talking with my brother Matt and Ryan, and we were talking about doing some adjustments. So I'd pulled the tire off and was doing some suspension adjustments on it there before the feature. Is what was going on.
And
there.
apparently it helped.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
All right. What do we got there?
We line up 3 wide for the features.
Okay.
So that was our starting lineup, rolling onto the track out of staging.
Okay. 77B.
that's
That'd
my
be
car.
Logan.
That's what the car looks like when you're hungover.
When you're hungover.
Hungover, yeah. Thanks, Tyler. There's no work being done to it. Yeah.
So you were just a little hungover then Saturday morning.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Tyler's car again with the
Out of
checkered
town
flag.
garage. There we go. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking
Out
for.
of town garage.
Couldn't remember that.
No.
It's out
It's out of my head.
You couldn't remember February 18th. Come on, man.
True. Oh, shit.
Oh, that is cool. You guys, I'm starting to get to know you a little bit better now, but one of the things, if you follow Dirty Thursday, is we talk about family and how guys get along, and you guys have been nothing but laughing and smiling the whole time. Is it similar, the dirt track racing compared to the ice racing? Does everybody get along, or is there somebody you're like, there's no freaking way I'm going to pit next to that guy?
It's very similar to dirt. That you got everybody gets along, but you got your rivalries. You got typically we've been friends for longer than we've been racing, basically.
Okay.
But see rub doors, you don't get too bent out of shape. But there's guys out there that you're rubbing doors or something. Racing deal happens,
Yep.
and you got you got a little animosity there.
Sure. And I like how everybody says the racing deal. It's a racing deal. That's just like the dumbest 2 words I've ever heard in my life, but it makes sense. Okay, so let's put it this way, Logan. Last race of the year, you win the race, you're the title. You win the title. But you got to get by this guy here. Are you gonna put him into the snowbank and call it a racing deal? Or are you gonna let him just keep going and just that's just the way it goes?
Timmy's raced with me long enough that I used to be a dirty driver, and I don't know how to put it. I will do something to get by someone, if I have to.
Sure.
Not necessarily. Think about me and Tim. We've done this before. Last year, what was it? We were one weekend. We had the barrels out, and the barrel was way out into the damn near the bank.
Yep.
And Timmy went around it. We're racing for first and second. I said, Timmy, what are you doing going way out there? I snuck inside and I ended up winning it.
Yeah.
And then the weekend after that, same thing happened, but Timmy won.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, the barrel had not been moved when Timmy did it. He was just cutting inside the barrel. Cut inside the barrel.
It was knocked over. Knocked over barrel means it's not there.
Hey, it was just a racing deal.
A racing deal,
Yeah.
I think Tyler got the butt end of that.
I got screwed on that one.
But see, this is the cool part about it. You can all sit around afterwards at the Deuce. And by the way, next time you're at the Deuce, tell them they owe us because we're giving their name out there an awful lot today. But I love that place. I stop in there deer hunting every year. This year was more than once. But what a great place to go. Has it ever been too cold to race? Have you ever had to call it because it's just too damn cold?
I don't think we have.
Yes, we have called it because of cold, and with what comes with that is snow dust.
Yep. Oh, sure.
So it that snow dust gets so bad you can't see.
I used to race snowmobiles. Yeah, I know. And I ice raced, oval ice raced, and yeah, the snow dust is bad. But is it hard sometimes to start the cars when it's that cold?
Well,
You got to bring jumper cables and have all that stuff for.
majority of our cars come out of, they're sitting at heated shops
Sure.
all week. And
Yeah.
as long as they're warm from being in the shop, they start pretty well.
Okay.
We've got guys who have come from longer distances. They'll start their car and let them idle on the trailer on the way just to keep them warm.
Jesus, we were at a vintage snowmobile show here a couple weeks ago in Reynolds. The guy had a diesel and an old Puma. And he had ran it at a show a couple of weeks before that. And he said it sat out there idling for like 7 hours. Figures he used about a third of a gallon of fuel. You should have heard it. It was like 4 revolutions a minute, I swear. How about you? I never mentioned you. How about sponsors for you?
I got Kujawa Fiberglass. That's he's out of Detroit Lakes. That's my uncle. And I got Little Bangkok. Good place to get some food. Mm-hmm. That's my father-in-law and mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
And then I got Chano's Repair and TR Construction.
Okay. All right. I wish I would have got you guys on here a couple of years ago. This thing kind of morphed into this whole deal, and it took me a while to realize, there's more to racing than just dirt. And the snurdy, I'm sure glad it rhymes with dirty because that helps quite a bit. Because, now, look at this. We've got ice racing on today. We'll have a snowmobile racer on again next week. I'm working on a drag racer, a motorcycle drag racer coming on here in a couple of weeks who I know has gone, the speeds this guy goes, it's freaking nuts. But I like this when we can branch out. And another thing I really like about this show is when you watch most racing shows, they're all about racing. Yeah. We're obviously not all about racing. And that's what we try to put out there. There's more to racing than you see on TV than just that. There's so many behind the scenes things people don't realize. Like wife and kids. How supportive do they have to be for you to be able to go out and have fun like this? And do they go with you and have as much fun as you do?
Yeah. So my wife actually, she's moved into an accountant position, so they're working long hours this time of year.
Sure, yeah.
So she's actually worked nights a couple of years so I could run for points.
Is that right?
And do that. And then
wow.
My son he'll be 6 in March here, so now he'll come down to the lake with me.
Okay.
And then A huge part in our family is my parents.
Sure.
So they'll never miss a race during the summer.
Really?
And during the winter, too, they'll take kids anytime we need, and they'll bring them down and watch. And,
Wow.
and-
Well, I know the brother's got a pretty good cheering section, too, usually when I see him at the Speedway. It's easier to spot him because of his wife. Because of the hair, you know? I mean, I can spot her from anywhere. And I mean that in a good way. I hope if she's watching, she gets that. And what about you? She supportive? Your family all supportive about this?
Well, it's my family isn't really supportive on racing. Well, my mom's side is, of course, you know, croakers and whatnot. You
Sure,
know.
sure.
And my dad's side, you know, waste of money. But it is, you know, my grandpa's a huge gambler.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Let's
hey,
go
it's-
give those guys the money instead, right?
Hates racing, but you know, loves to gamble, you know, which is whatever. To each your own, you know. But my wife, both my kids, my daughter, last weekend she got her own cell phone for Christmas.
Oh.
8 years old.
Oh, boy.
She knows how to run it more than I know how to run my own phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But she videotaped every race.
Wow.
She's supported my son. You know, he doesn't get into the racing. He's a lot. He likes it.
It's like the deal, the event.
Yeah. And my nephew, you know, he's my brother's, you know, not the greatest supporter of racing, you know, but he started working with me on the B-Mod. Well, then last year I had an extra ice racer, so I let him run it for free. He was old. Then this year he come up with a bunch of money. He bought it from me. And now he's bought his own car, and I'm pretty proud of him. He's doing his own thing.
No kidding.
And he's catching on. He has a little temper issues once in a while, but we all did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we all did at one time.
I wonder where he gets it from.
Yeah.
How about you? Your wife knew what she was getting into when she met you with the racing thing. Pretty supportive.
Very supportive.
Yeah.
She's been very supportive. My parents have been supportive. Actually, my whole family's been very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's weekends I get out there and I got 30-some people.
Oh,
standing around the car.
That's so much more fun, too. You know, you talk about support and not support. I kind of went through the same thing. My dad was the one who actually got me into racing at a very young age, snowmobiles and motorcycles. But then when I morphed into doing car stuff, my dad was a custom hot rod builder, and he had over, like when he passed, he had 300 and some cars. But a lot of the old classic stuff and yards full. But he hated racing because back then you would take an old car and turn it into a race car. Well, spend my whole life making these cars look good, and the dipshits like you go out there and ruin them, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Dad, it's not really a car anymore. It might have been the frame, you know, but now they're not. It's not a quarter panel from your 59 Bel Air or whatever it is. But Brandon O'Mang said takes after his uncle. Okay. For more information on Lake Cameron ice racing, for latest announcements, schedules, photos, and more, I can't read that.
That's John. That's I don't know if you want to flip the switch there. If you want to flip that switch so people can hear me.
Oh, that switch.
Yep. There we go. I got a link in the chat for the Facebook page for Lake Cameron ice racing, or if you go to the description for this episode on the podcast or social media apps, they could click on that link too to find out more information about you guys all season long.
Perfect. My guest host, Tim Kujawa, you pretty quiet today, Tim.
Wow. Just
I talk a lot.
taking in all the information. Gotta learn.
Yeah, you're learning, right? Yeah,
Yep.
You're just soaking it up for the next time you guys race. Maybe you'll move up from 5th in points or 6th in points.
Maybe. Who knows?
And big news, you got a kid coming.
We do. Yeah, we're expecting April 5th.
Wow. Awesome. Good for you. That is cool. You have, do you know, boy or girl?
We're not finding out.
Oh, good. Okay.
And
Good.
It makes more people mad that we're not finding out. So that's why I do it.
Yeah. Well, back in the old day, that's what you did, right?
Yep.
Is there anything here you guys want to add? Valentine's Day is coming up. Say something good about your wife. Is there anything here you want to add? Oh, this is so much fun. Did everybody get everything out there? Are we all happy?
I think so.
I would just say if you want to come ride, don't hesitate to come ask.
Just go down to the pits and ask any of you guys.
There's open seats in cars.
And we'll stay after and run people around the track
really?
and everything because we want more people to get into it.
Yep.
if we take them for some laps and they're like, ooh, that's kind of fun. Maybe we should get a car and try. And if people have got questions, call these guys.
You know, I've had many opportunities to hot lap cars in my life, but I always say no. Because, I mean, let's face it, you know me. By the time the end of the night's done, I've had a few cans of vocal lubrication, and I'd rather not. But just throwing that idea out there, man. You can ride in the back seat. Lake Cameron Ice Racing, thanks for having us. Mike, enjoyed the show. Good job, guys. How is he related?
That's my uncle.
That's your uncle?
I'm pretty sure he's in Arizona right now.
Oh, okay. And thanks to some of the people that help you in the shop.
Thanks, Austin. Did some wiring for me.
Oh, it was Austin. Okay, saying that. You guys, I'm going to tell you, Mikey up. I must be on the road. I know you guys made a long trip today. I can't thank you enough for making the trip. At least I feel a little better knowing what you guys do for a living. Maybe it wasn't such a busy day for you today.
No, it was okay.
Okay. And that's the hard thing about doing this show. Not everybody can just leave work at 11 o'clock on a Thursday to come and entertain, me and everybody else. But this is incredibly fun. I
get
love
done
this.
here and I'm going fishing when I get back home.
Are you?
Yep.
Where are you going?
I'm not going to tell you all my secrets.
Oh. Can you even say a body of water?
Well, Union.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or Sarah or Maple. I don't know.
Remember that spot where I was 3 weeks ago Thursday? I'm a mile and a half south of that and then 3 miles north. Okay. You sound like you're on Lake of the Woods. Speaking of that, I actually got a text last night from Jade Hastings, the sprint car driver, and he wants to take me walleye fishing. So I'm going to call him back tonight. I haven't got to go in a while. And if any of you guys ever want to come up this summer and do a little catfishing, let me know.
Yeah.
We're doing that all the time. You guys are great. Thanks for coming. And again, there's no racing this Saturday, but again, get on the website, look it up. They're all over social media, Lake Cameron Ice Racing. If you haven't been to it, I'm not kidding you. It is so much fun. I don't know if I should be saying this on the show, but I don't think there's any cops watching. Grab yourself a cooler full of beer. Get there a little early. Find yourself a good place to park because you'll be able to sit right there. Enjoy your nice warm car watching these guys race. I'm not kidding you. If you've never seen them, it was way, way more than I imagined or expected. These guys are three-wheeling it around this track, and it looks like they're going about 900 miles an hour. I'm not kidding you. It is a great time. You can listen to it on the radio, and then when you're done, again, head up to the Deuce. There you go. Thank you, guys. Tyler Schow, Logan Bauer, Tim Kujawa, all part of the Lake Cameron Ice Racing Association. Go check them out on a Saturday, all right? Hey, I want to give a shout-out to Rumor Sports Bar Casino for bringing you Dirty Thursday like they do every single week. You know, they got that big inaugural sports memorabilia jamboree going on this Saturday. Easy for you to say. Inaugural sports memorabilia jamboree. They've already sold it out, but it's going to be incredible. Somebody is going to win a lot of stuff. They've got some great things going on. But for you want to go there for lunch today? Sandwich and a side for just $7. Great place on Friday night to watch UND Fighting Hawks hockey. Maybe you want to watch some UND basketball. You'll be able to do that tonight, too. They've got buses to UND Sports and all the big name concerts. And again, their lunch and dinner specials, they'll knock you out, man. Good stuff. Home of the world-famous beer tower, too. Love it. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino again. Paul Bottom on the show next week on Dirty Thursday. Can't wait. We'll do a little more Snurdy Thursday stuff for you. Tons of stuff going on today. 1 o'clock, big screens and TV streams. 6:30 tonight, Fork Sports Highway with Monty, Bill, Raven, and the crew. Brew Brothers podcast coming your way at 9 o'clock tonight. It's going to be a busy, busy day. I'll catch you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us on your favorite app. We're on all of them. Grand cities are grand. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.